Special greetings. Today I'm going to talk about cryptocurrency, and at the end, I'm going to explain, the thing that a lot of people don't realize or understand yet. So, before I start this, call it message, I want to tell you guys this. I've got friends, good people that are involved in it and made a lot of money. I've got some good people, so this is not a knock against anyone personally, and I'm really going to try not to knock the platforms that I'm still. I've got a few million locked in. Okay, like my life savings, you could call it, went in there, and I am hoping that my situation will change. But all I know is that there are thousands of people that are sitting and they're stuck. Now, I just want to explain something about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is decentralized finance. Okay, so the banks can't touch it, but what's slowly but surely happening is it is becoming regulated, and the exchanges are getting your information. So the government is very well aware that people are making profits from cryptocurrency. So yes, it is high risk and high reward. But you know what? When I'm seeing what's happened to the people that were coining it, me included, and then sitting waiting months without money, I felt like I had to share this. And this, by the way, I should have done a long time ago. So I put some notes here, and I want you guys to understand that Bitcoin is not a scam. Okay, so often what happens is these new platforms come. Let's call it multi-level marketing, guys. So as you know, you sign up and you refer people and you get commission. And sure, a lot of good people want, when they see they're making money, also want their friends and family to make money, and it works and it benefits them because they get commission and they get to watch their friends and family make money. So you would have found that someone in your circle or a few people tried to introduce you to a platform and they guaranteed returns, and you thought, wow, I'm watching my friend make all this money, so you put some money in, and you thought, man, you're just going to make some money, and a lot of people did, and a lot of people got rich, and a lot of people still getting rich. But I want to go over a few things here. A lot of people that I knew that had it all in cryptocurrency and were on multiple platforms are now selling off assets to survive and to pay the bills, because a lot of them gave up their day jobs to get involved. I know I got lazy in my marketing business and I focused on building a crypto business. And I thought, really, from the due diligence I saw and the presentations and the good people, now I'm going to tell you this: there are a lot of honest, good people that are referring you to a system, but they don't realize that the system is actually a Ponzi or a pyramid scheme. And it's just a matter of time before the funds run out. And I want to explain how it works. So you get the builders. So the builders are the guys that you call them the bull investors. These are the guys that will put money in, and what they will do is they will go bull. And that means they will refer every single person they know. They will talk to them, get them on the system. So they will just rake in the money. But sadly, what happens is it's the long-term investors that don't take out their money. They're looking at long-term investment. These are the guys that ultimately lose. So it is the builders that start, introduce the system to people, and as the money comes in and as that kitty grows, there are people that pull out. And then when the long-term investor goes and tries to pull something out, he realizes that actually the whole thing has fallen apart. He has got monopoly figures. So it's like, currently, if I look now in one of my accounts, there's $22,000, and you would expect that you can withdraw it, yet they've locked it. So I'll explain which platform it is, and I really hope that we get our money out of this platform, because I've got a lot of debt that I could have paid. But anyway, so as you understand, you get the bull and the bear investors. So the bull, those are the guys that are going to make a lot of money. So when you're looking at them, you're like, wow, look, they're buying sports cars, they're upgrading their house, they're living the dream. It does look great. And then you get the long-term bear investors. They don't refer it to anyone. They just want a good return after a year or 2 years. And then they come back later and realize, you know what, I flipped and put money into this thing and I lost. So that happened to a lot of people I know. And sadly, divorces are happening. Friendships were destroyed. Because I'll tell you, imagine you refer people to your friends and family because you see an opportunity for yourself and for them. Imagine this. And they come on board and they sell like a car, or they sell their house, or they take a bond out. They take a second bond on their house and they put money into this. And then it goes pear. they've lost. Because at the end of the day, people, when they see figures, they don't follow due diligence, they don't follow protocol. And you go to these presentations and you watch the seminars, and they're doing the due diligence and they're talking about all the benefits. And sadly, so many people don't do fine research. And in that fine research, or in the devil's in the details, go have a look at what these crypto platforms say. They're not regulated and they are exempt. So when the whole system collapses or crashes, you've basically lost your money, and there's no guarantee or assurance that you will get anything back. So I just wanted to say, this is something a lot of people don't realize as well. When you trade, as you can imagine, it goes up and down, it fluctuates. And why does it do that? So let's just say today, Apple brings out a new product. Everyone starts to buy Apple shares. So the shares start to go up and up and up. So, you're a guy, you put in $1 million worth of, you buy $1 million worth of shares. But tomorrow, just overnight, something happens to Apple, and the next day the shares drop by like 80%. Then you go look, and you're an investor now, you want to go pull out your investment, you've lost money. So what people don't seem to realize is, in order for you to make money in trading or in cryptocurrency, somebody else has got to lose money. Where does the money come from, and how does the thing grow? You've got to understand, if I buy Bitcoin today, and so currently I think Bitcoin is on 450,000 Rand. So if I buy Bitcoin today and it's at 450,000 Rand, and I buy a Bitcoin, if tomorrow Bitcoin drops by 70%, then I've lost that. Okay, so understand, there are people that pull their money out quickly. So how the whole thing works is, everybody puts money in, and the price goes up, the value. But as something happens, either Elon Musk opens his mouth, or maybe Joe Biden, or the authorities start to say, we're going to come hard after people who have Bitcoin. So they come after your Bitcoin. People start to quickly withdraw their Bitcoin. So the first ones in are the ones that put the money in, and the last ones that put money in, they quickly pull their money out. So what happens is, there's a transfer of this money. So in actual fact, what's happening is, someone is losing and you are making gains. So is that a business that you want to be in? Is that a business that you could see is a business, that you say is risk-free? I don't think so. It's not a business I want to be in. I want something that is solid. So I'll put something here, what I believe could be a good investment for you guys. So yes, what happens also with Bitcoin is, Elon Musk, because he is who he is, he can phone all of his buddies and say, listen guys, I'm going to make an announcement that I'm going to put $1.5 billion, I'm going to buy $1.5 billion of Bitcoin, because he knows the moment his name is attached to Bitcoin, a whole bunch of investors are quickly going to pour in money, and so the thousands and the millions are going to start putting in Bitcoin, and you're just going to see the value rise and rise and rise. And once that Bitcoin that they bought for 200,000, let's just say it was $50,000, now goes to $70,000, and the value's up here, they say pull your money out right now. And what they do is, they quickly pull their money out, they made a quick return, and what happens is, Bitcoin just starts collapsing, because now everyone's trying to get their money out. And basically what happens is, Bitcoin starts to have a free fall. So the last person to realize that Bitcoin has crashed, well, now he's lost money, he's lost his value. So that's something that you need to understand. And the other thing, Ponzi schemes usually last about 18 months. So in the beginning, the first year, people are saying, no, this is legit. And they show you returns, they show you their back office, they're doing presentations, they're showing you due diligence, they're showing you the CEOs, and it looks amazing. And I'm not saying that every one of these places or companies is a scam, but I will share with you what's happened with me, with the companies and the platforms I joined, let you hear my story, and then make a decision from there on out. But after 18 months, usually these things collapse, because there's no more money to give. Everyone, the builders, they introduced a lot of people, and the long-term investors, they held on. And it's the builders that quickly took their returns. And the builders make a lot of money in the beginning, but the investors then lose later. So yes, imagine having to explain to your wife or your husband or your in-laws or your parents, I lost your money. Or you sold precious assets for something like cryptocurrency that just collapses, or you got involved in a crypto platform that offered these great returns, and then there were great returns for 6 months or a year or even 2 years, but then boom, like this, it's all gone. You can't sue them. This is the problem. And when these guys get caught, people don't get their money back. I'm still yet to find someone who's got their money back from someone who got scammed. I haven't personally met them, and this usually is the worst thing that happens before Christmas. So I know as I got married in December. We already started having problems in November. The payments started to become smaller and smaller, and I could draw less and less, and eventually they just put a lock on it for 5 months on the one platform, 6 months on the other platform. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you which platform just now. But I was single the last time I got paid from one of these platforms. Single. I've still got money sitting in there. Now I have got a child on the way. I got married, so you can imagine how long I've been waiting to get that money. So yes, it happens usually before Christmas. And another thing people don't realize is, yes, this is decentralized finance, and yes, the banks, some banks and some platforms, they will adopt Bitcoin, and as Bitcoin gets adopted, the value of Bitcoin will go up. So I'm not really picking on Bitcoin, but I'm picking on these multi-level marketing companies that have scammed people, that made us all feel like we've made it and we're going to make a lot of money. Then we sit there, look like fools when we cannot get our money. And then also, the banks won't allow Bitcoin for too long. Think about it. You are dealing, right now they are creating a new world order. They want to collapse the economy. Then they want to introduce their own type of cryptocurrency. And Bitcoin acts as a resistance towards the World Bank. And the World Economic Forum and all of those guys, they want to have control. So don't think that those guys there want you to be happy. They want to control everything from their towers. So they will not allow this for too much longer. They will eventually make it so difficult and impossible for people like us who've had Bitcoin to say, you know what, we don't need the banking system, we can rely on that. I'll tell you at the end what's actually happening there. So yes, the banks will not tolerate us taking the power away from them. So they will find a way to make it impossible, which they already have. Some banks won't deal with you if you got cryptocurrencies. So the list of companies that I wanted to talk about that were definite scams was MTI. I didn't lose money there, praise God, but Continental Miners, I lost money there. TKL, that didn't even last long, and then it went pear. Then it was Carrot Bars. Carrot Bars was a definite scam. I put I think 800 euros into that 3.5 years ago, and it's worth now nothing, and I can't even get anything out of that. That's a scam. GS Partners, I put $1,000 in there, and then that $1,000 dropped to $300 when they expected it to rise tenfold. So I put that money in thinking, if I make tenfold here, I'm a genius. That never happened. There was all these promises and all this talk. I lost money there. Now I cannot get my money out of there. Then I got with a company called Zenith Funds. I put $600 in there, and it grew to $815. No, sorry, I put $700. It grew to I think $850. And when I wanted to withdraw my money, then all of a sudden came the, no, but you must pay us a $50, and then you can do it. I was like, you didn't talk about this in the beginning. So that was a scam. Then I was trading, so I started with a company called Invest Buy, and I warned this company that I'm going to do this video, and they basically had the audacity to keep phoning me and telling me, hey, why don't you put more money in? What happened with this company is I put in I think $3,500. I got paid from one of these platforms, and I thought, you know what, let me diversify. So I put $3,500 into Invest Buy. I dealt with a woman called Victoria, very cocky and arrogant, and she was like, you could hear they were all trained like the Wolf of Wall Street. They all spoke the same, they were all trained, and this woman was like, you know what, you're playing small with what you're doing. Give me $3,500, watch me make it grow. Guys, it was 48 hours later. I basically lost everything. And I still told her I didn't want to do this. I wanted her to put my money in Swiss francs. She put it on the NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ went through one of these where I basically lost everything. And then she said, but put more money in because it's going to go up. So these guys are reckless traders, and they will do that. They don't care because they're making commission. So when you win, they win. But when you lose, they lose nothing. So that's the problem with these companies is they make money, the builders make money, but you'll end up losing money if you're just a silent investor. And they try to tell you, it's okay, you don't need to refer people. Just come in on board. Just be a bear investor. And the problem is when it goes pear, nobody's going to give you your money back because they would have lost their money too. So the two companies that I've got money in, and I've got some good friends here. I've got some honest people in both CFX. I've got some good friends that they're absolutely good friends of mine. I hang out with them. Then I've got some very good friends that were in Hyperfund, and I'm still friends with them today. So Hyperfund became Hyperverse. But I just want to tell you with CFX, I requested a withdrawal in November. I still haven't received my few $1,000s. So that really was difficult. December, getting married, not being able to buy my wife a proper decent wedding ring, not being able to take her on a honeymoon, not being able to take my family away on a holiday. It was just before December, literally, and I didn't budget for it because I was earning good money from all these platforms. And just then, CFX, boom, stopped paying. And what their story was is we're just waiting for Bitcoin to go past a certain point. And I said to them, guys, Bitcoin might not reach that certain point. So I haven't been paid till today. A few people from CFX today are selling their homes, going back to their businesses, and they've got to explain to their husbands or their wives or friends or family, sorry, I might not get your money. But I'm still giving CFX benefit of the doubt that something could happen there, and I'm really hoping that it will. And I will drop a comment the moment something happens with CFX. You can read in the comments if something has happened there. But then there's Hyperverse, and Hyperverse was first. Well, it was first something hyper, then it became Hyperfund. I got involved last year when it was Hyperfund. I was earning good returns here. But then in December November, they did an upgrade, and it went from 1.0 to 2.0, from Hyperfund to Hyperverse. And instead of you getting ×3 your investment, they were offering ×4. But instead of getting 0.5%, they said 0.3%. So anyway, our accounts all got locked in South Africa. And they kept saying, do this and do that. They kept saying they're doing a system upgrade. Once the upgrade is sorted, we'll get our funds back. They kept saying, no, there's a glitch on the system, they'll sort it out. And the story kept changing. Then they kept telling us, no, people were abusing the system. And then we all said, yes, we understand people do abuse it. And they said, we just do KYC, which is know your customer or know your client. So I did that process. I submitted my accounts with all my information. We got phone calls from the South African investors that that brought Hyperfund here, and these are good guys. I'm not saying Hyperverse or Hyperfund, but I'm saying the guys we were dealing with that brought Hyperfund here. They're good guys. They're honest guys, and we know that they were trying everything to try and get us our money back. Then they said to us, these accounts are going to get unlocked anytime soon, any day now. And they were telling us we're going to be on these Zoom calls and we just need to attend and fill in a Google form. And sadly, we did all of that. And today it's I got my last payment of $1,500 in Jan, and that was the last time I had a payment from Hyperverse. And it was endorsed. I mean, we saw celebrities. So Chuck Norris was coming out and he was saying, hey man, I endorse Hyperverse. It really looked cool. But then you think about it, how are people like this going to sustain such a thing when Bitcoin is collapsing? There's a war busy going on. And then China says, you know what, we don't want Bitcoin mining here. We don't want Bitcoin. So obviously there's a lot of resistance towards it, and a lot of these companies didn't expect it. So out of all the excuses they could make, I'm also going to assume that at this stage, with all the messages coming through from the top guys saying we cannot promote this platform anymore, we don't know what to do, it's safe to say that at this point I would tell people not to put money into something like this. And if you've got money in something like this, please do not go all in. Take some of your money out. And the advice that I have for you guys is, look, we're going into a new world order. So whether you believe in Matthew 24, or you believe in Jesus, or you believe in God, whatever your faith is, know this, that it was warned to us that we are going into a new world order, one world religion, one world government, one world global currency. And this stuff, as great as what it seems, is going to at some point collapse, because there's too much resistance from the world banks. They don't like this. They don't want people like you to get rich using someone else's system. They want you to use their system. So they want to introduce the new world order, one digital currency and a microchip, and they want to implant people. So We look at the scriptures in Revelation 13:16, where everyone has to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead to buy and sell. And whoever doesn't have this mark cannot buy or sell. And every single person has to get it at some point. So we Christians, we know what that is. We know that that's the devil's mark. And we know that it's going to be some form of a cryptocurrency. And we know that it's not Bitcoin. But what I want to tell you is you've got all those factors to consider. Are you going to lose your friends and family by getting involved in this? Are you going to lose your money getting involved in this, And who's going to be affected with this? So my advice to people is buy gold and silver. Protect yourself. Buy stuff that can see you through in the future. So for example, what are we going to have problems in the future with, right? We're already having problems, global warming problems. Okay, so there's 3 reasons. I will do a video on that another time, but I think YouTube hates those kinds of videos. So I'd probably have to upload it somewhere else because it's stuff that people look at and they're like, it can't be. And then we look and we say, actually it is, it's biblical. But you need to be prepared for the future. So I want to tell you guys right now, I've got to do another video on 10 ways that you can save and make money and what to do in the future to prepare and protect your family and yourself from what's coming. They want to bring a reset. They want to knock out, if you just listen to some of the garbage that's coming out of these people's mouths, and it's actually not garbage. They want to depopulate. They want to control the water. They want to control the food. They want to control the money. How do you think it's going to work out for you when you are relying on their system to try work against their system? So you're using Bitcoin and you're hoping that you're going to be able to go against them. It's not going to happen. At some point, it's all going to collapse. They're going to make it impossible for you. So you're going to lose your money. And when people start to quickly withdraw, what's going to happen is you're going to start to lose your value that's inside of there. So buy gold and silver. Buy solar powered kits that you can have at least some power when the grid starts to give problems. Start to buy stuff when you can purify water, because you're going to start having problems with water. Buy sanitary stuff. You're going to have problems there soon. If you think that this is, if you think the world is going to get better, it's only going to get worse. The war is going to become more intense. Bitcoin is going to become harder. The stock market, it will eventually collapse. It cannot carry on for too much longer. They want to collapse the entire world. They want to, you see, guys, what you got to understand is the world has to collapse. It has to get so bad that people are literally desperate. And that's when the Antichrist is going to come and offer solutions, and the world is going to love this man and they're going to accept his mark. And this is the man that Jesus has been warning us about, the Antichrist, filled with the devil. And he will be a public figure and probably be led by the Pope. If you read Revelation and you read Daniel and you start to study the scriptures and Thessalonians and all of that, you realize that we are so close to that time. We're in it. It's not like the person's on his way. It's like he's knocking at the door already. So I just want to tell you, I thought I could have a good run with cryptocurrency. And I know some people, you're still having a very good run and you're hoping that the next thing is going to come out and it's all going to be all right. You're going to make some money. I just want to warn you, in the beginning, all these things work. They do. Everybody makes money in the beginning, but every single person I have spoken to till today is actually now at the point where they have lost money. And I'm going to encourage you to go back to your business. Stick to what you do. Start farming, start planting your own crops and things like that, because food prices are going up. Fuel prices are going up. Inflation, hyperinflation, interest rates are hiking. Everything is changing in the world. So what you've got to do, if you are a person of faith, then be a person of faith, but be wise and look after your money and start to prepare yourself, prepare your homes, because there are food shortages coming. There's more diseases coming. There's more things coming to the world. There's things happening that you don't know. And the stuff that is happening, you are being deceived. You and I are sitting thinking we know what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. But in actual fact, there's something far worse and far sinister. So I'm not saying that Putin is a good guy. But what I'm saying is I think he's against the New World Order. And from all the things I can see, it seems like the media again has absolutely been lying to us. So just be careful, guys. Real stuff is going on in the world. And the reason why I released this about cryptocurrencies, this is not the saving grace and the saving future. It might look nice, but it is extremely volatile. 1 minute it's up here, next minute it's down here. And then 1 minute people are making a lot of money. Next minute, they're going completely broke. It makes absolutely no sense from a business point of view to be in a high risk, high reward, or high risk, absolutely no reward industry where you can lose everything. Get involved in something that's tangible. Use your skills to make money. So I hope that this has helped you. I will leave some hashtags. And like I said, if anything happens here to change my mind or I get my money back, I will happily put a comment and I'll tell you guys, you know what, this company CFX paid out or this company Hyperverse paid out. So I just want to warn you, be careful, because a salesman will say anything to get money out of you, because when we need money, we will say anything. I, on the other hand, warned people before I signed them up, said, listen, this thing could go pear-shaped. And I told them, if this thing goes pear, I cannot pay you what you lose. So you're risking it you are risking by yourself. Don't blame me. But some people were they were like so convinced that this is the real deal and their money is safe. And sadly, those people now don't have money. Don't let that be you. So just think before you do these things. Pray, fast before you make a decision. Do your research. All right, guys. Thank you. I'll see you soon.